BRICS was never built against anyone. Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, said a very good phrase. He said recently that BRICS is not anti-Western, it's just non-Western. Economic growth will be primarily in the BRICS member countries, the Global South, Southeast Asia, Africa. Positive growth will be in such powerful countries as China, India, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. But the outperforming growth will be in Southeast Asia and Africa. Of course, when there are new players, new participants, full-fledged members of any international organization, they bring something of their own. BRICS, as my colleagues, partners, and friends have said many times, is 45% of the world's population, 33% of the world's landmass, and the constant growth of trade turnover and the level of world trade. I just spoke to the BRICS Business Council, entrepreneurs from our countries, and I gave the figures that I mentioned earlier. If you look at 1992 and 2023, the combined growth in global GDP of the BRICS countries has doubled while the growth of the G7 countries has declined. And the BRICS countries are already outpacing the G7 countries on this figure. And it is quite obvious that by 2028, the gap in favor of the BRICS countries will increase. This is already an obvious thing. In some areas, humanity cannot exist without the BRICS countries. I am referring to food markets. BRICS was never built against anyone. Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, said a very good phrase. He said recently that BRICS is not anti-Western, it's just non-Western. This is very important. It makes a lot of sense. So BRICS is not opposing anybody. It is simply an association of states that work together on the basis of common values and a common vision of development. The most important principle is to take into account each other's interests. This is the basis on which we will work in Kazan. All members of the organization must respect the interests of the new member countries. During this year, we have been doing everything that depends on Russia to gradually and calmly integrate all our new members into the work of the organization. After all, we have 250 very different events planned.